Hello. We're continuing our reading today from Jeremiah chapter 3. We're going to start in the 19th verse. Jeremiah is talking to the people and explaining to the people his experience of who God is. And so it starts with this verse. I thought to myself, how wonderful it would be to treat you like children and give you a beautiful land, an inheritance unrivaled among the nations. And I thought, you will call me Father, and you won't turn away from me. But as a woman betrays her lover, so you, people of Israel, have betrayed me, declares the Lord. A voice is heard on the well-traveled paths. It's the crying and pleading of the people of Israel, who have lost their way and forgotten the Lord their God. Return, rebellious children, and I will heal your rebellion. Here we come to you, for you are the Lord our God. Surely what happens on the hills is a waste, as is the uproar on the mountains. Only in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel. From our youth, shame has devoured the fruit of our parents' labor, their flocks and herds as well as their sons and daughters. Let's lie down in our shame. Let our dishonor cover us, for we have sinned against the Lord our God, both we and our ancestors, from our youth to this very day. We have disobeyed the voice of the Lord our God. Now this is a complicated story. You see, when God first called the people of Israel to be God's people, it was with the idea that the prophets would rule the land, that the prophets and the priests that God had appointed would help the people choose the right actions, choose the right way to live. After we read the book of Judges at the very end, we hear that the people have decided that they can no longer live with those conditions. They want a king. Everybody else has a king, they want a king. And God says to them, you're going to live to regret this. But they do it anyway. And the people do. They live to regret this. Now, the kings, there were some good and some bad. And for a long time in their history, they were one united country, the country of Israel. But then one day the kings couldn't get along and the people couldn't get along, and they separated into the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, also known as Israel and Judah. Now before Jeremiah became a prophet, Israel had been taken over by the Assyrians. The kingdom had been lost. Now this oracle, this prophecy comes in a remembrance of the times of the king Josiah, who was considered a good king by the people of Judah. And Josiah decided he was going to reunite the people. He was going to reunite the kingdoms under his rule, a return to the Davidic line of kings. And so he attempts to spread out and reach up into the northern kingdom and to claim that land back for himself. And in this prophecy, what we hear is God lamenting that the people once again chose to do it for themselves. That the people once again forgot the promises God had made them. That they forgot that God was in control and they tried to do for themselves again. See, God didn't want Josiah to do it by military might. God didn't want Josiah to take over the northern kingdom through armies and marching on cities and destroying the land of the people who shared God's covenant. But Josiah did it anyway. God says, I had so much planned for you, so much good to give you, and yet you can't be trusted. You can't be trusted to bring those good things to bear, to wait for my promise to be fulfilled. It challenges us to remember that we get in a hurry from time to time, and we think we can handle it, and we can make the decisions to choose the direction that we need to go, and we do it by force often. When we need to remember, Jeremiah says, that God is in control, and that this will all happen in God's time. And our job is to look for signs and symbols that God is moving, and to go.